Okay, so I just received some unfortunate news is that my friend who was setting up at the Doujima right now, she took a photo and showed me that under the 3B, videography is prohibited unless you are part of the official media team. So, unfortunately, I can't do a vlog for this, but instead of doing videos, why not I take a bunch of photos, make it into a slideshow, and I think that would be quite interesting, right? And at the same time, I can do voice recording, just voice recording, no video. Just nice. I got this brand new DJI mini set. I don't know. I think it'll be quite interesting to do this format. We shall see. But anyway, Doujima is tomorrow. Let's see how it goes. Yay! So I just reached Suntec. It's the 10 a.m. Today, Saturday, day 1, it will start at 12 p.m. So we have 2 hours to set up. I'm actually waiting for Tiny because she is the booth owner. I am not boothing for this year's Doujima. I'm just helping out. So I'll be making use of her secondary pass. But yeah, I'm still waiting for her at this moment. When she reaches here, I will go in and help to set up. But yeah, day 1 starts at 12 p.m. and ends at 8 p.m. Day 2, it starts at 11 and ends at 7. So it's pretty much the same hours, just that day 1 today, it starts later due to, to take into account the setting up part of it. But yeah, there's already a queue here, which is a good sign. From the looks of it, it seems that there's around 550 booths. I think there could be more. I'm not very sure. It's a very big number. I think easily the largest artist alley in Singapore. You can see, I already talked about it, is that videography is not allowed in the venue itself. So I'll be taking photos and doing some voice-only recording. Looking forward to Doujima 2025. I wonder how much have they improved since last year. Yeah, with me is Tiny.
Hello.
The doors is open at 12 o'clock sharp. It's been 10 minutes, so how do you feel?
How do I feel?
Yeah, it's huge. Yeah, she hasn't had the time to walk around yet. And also, her booth is participating in the STEM Rally, so it'll be quite interesting to see. Yeah, so there's extra work for you, but
love and this space.
yeah, love and this space, correct.
So how is it for you, Clement, so far? You went to some of the booths to help me to drop off, to go and run the mission.
To run some errands, right, to drop off some things. I've been walking around there, I noticed a lot of very, very impressive booths. The artwork, everything, the merchandise, even the neighbors here, they have very good products.
Crazy. Do you think they're mostly locals or internationals actually?
It's a good mix. The standard here is very high. It's quite overwhelming, so yeah. But for her case, right, Tiny, her booth is actually pretty good at the A section. Yeah.
I think I'm pretty lucky, but a lot of people who come here also have booths that they want to go to, so I think they have bookmarked their booths to go straight to them.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting, but it's also very similar to last year's Doujima in that aspect.
Yeah, hopefully the STEM Rally will help. So yeah, at the same time, I have trying out this gacha thing where every $10 purchase, they can do a gacha spin and then get a random prize. So this is something that I decided to do to help Tiny. So hopefully, it can increase the sales, and at the same time, I can give away certain things also. I'm also participating in this OC trading part. Last year I made a couple of tree, and then this year I have a new design for OC Shenton. So I'll be giving it out for anyone who is requesting a trade. There's also an OC trading badge from the Merfish Artists, so I'm going to pass one to Tiny.
Thank you.
You're going to wear this, so whenever I do OC trading, so they will know. I'm very surprised they provide a 1.8 meter table because I wasn't the one paying for the table, so I didn't know that Doujima were doing this because last year I remembered it was 1.2, and as you can see, the space between each booth is very spacious. There's a lot of leg room, very good. This is definitely an improvement from last year. I noticed they also added the sign for the row, so each row has a stand to indicate the letters A, B, C, D. That's something that wasn't around last year. Definitely this is an improvement. Now it's already 5, we'll end at 8. How do you feel about that? Doujima experience?
How's your Doujima? How's my Doujima experience?
Yeah, both of you, like...
Both of us.
I feel like there's a lot of sales already been made. It seems like good business.
Pretty good, I think. Pretty good. Generally, love and deep space.
Love and deep space is your...
It's the meta.
Do you think that the STEM Rally helps?
Stamp rally, yeah.
Or is it just a passing thing where you have to tell them? Because I feel that it's just a really complimentary.
I think it is a complimentary thing, but then again, stamp rallies have always been generally a complimentary thing, like, in my opinion. It's not hyper effective, but for some people it's I would say like the final push up for them to get something.
But I think it's quite interesting that your stamp rally, the entry bar is very low, every $2 spent.
Yeah, but I guess like in the end, stamp rallies are also for the fans, so it makes sense that we have a low bar entry rather than like
So it doesn't really help to encourage people to spend because they can just buy anything.
I think it helps if only that they will go visit all of the other booths on the rally itself, because once they start, then it helps. It helps. When the artists they are in the rally, then there is a map people will go and find.
I think the best selling is the 3 for 10 set.
3 for 10.
The print.
The 3 for 10. So they don't, most of them with the stamp rally, they don't just buy your $2 sticker. So actually, even though the buy is at $2, people spend more than that. So I think it's quite good.
And I'm not very sure whether it's the stamp rally or whether it's like the fandom. Could be a bit of both, I think. Because it basically makes people focus more on the fandom that is listed in the stamp rally. So people, if you have a enough empty space or like a Hong Kong stamp rally at your booth, they will generally tend to buy those items. So, well, that's just part of the nature of the stamp rally.
Interesting, yeah.
So it's almost 6 p.m. and I have Douglas with me. We are going to take this opportunity to go and walk around the event hall and maybe talk to some of my friends who are boothing here at the Doujima 2025.
Record right now. Okay, yeah, you can hold it.
Yeah.
So I got to ask a few simple questions. Since it's already been 6 hours of
Yes.
Doujima, then how do you feel? Were you here last year?
Yes, last year also.
And how is last year versus this year?
I think last year I was near the toilet side.
Okay,
I think last year was more crowded.
more crowded.
I think.
Or is it because you're near the exit? Because it's
I'm also not very sure lah. Yeah.
because last year I was near the exit. I was in your area.
Oh.
Yeah, then it was very bad. for me.
Okay, then I think the toilet is it's
toilet
good lah,
good.
because everyone need go toilet what. Then they go already, then they will,
I see,
they are
I see.
put to your table. Yeah. I think ultimately like as people walk, then they slowly get to your area.
Okay.
Like what, slowly?
Slowly.
Yeah.
Kind of seeing like here, there's quite a crowd.
Okay.
So it's, I think still not too bad.
Yeah, it's still okay lah, yeah. Because mine is not like anime art, so it's a bit different
Yeah,
from like what.
Feels like your area is actually a lot of the non-anime.
Oh, yeah.
Like your opposite neighbors are.
That's true. Maybe they purposely put us together.
Maybe. Thank you so much.
Alright.
Yeah, I think I'm disturbing you. Yeah. The tails here, can't really see.
You really avoiding.
No. So it's like the video will be more of a slideshow.
Oh.
So it's like photo. So how have you been? I mean, this is really near the end. The exit is here. Last year were you at Doujima?
Yes, I was booking at Doujima, but I was a bit more behind, nearer to the toilet on the left side. But it's still quite near the exit.
Okay, so my friend was saying that she was near the toilet last year. Then it was better there than here near the exit. Do you feel the same way?
It's hard to say, but I think for me, last year was a bit better also. But this year, they are preparing for my own personal school stuff. I didn't really get to make new merch. So that's why maybe it's also not as good for me, because I didn't have anything new this time around.
But you have very interesting. What is this?
It's my final year project.
What is it?
I don't have time to make new fan merch, right? So I'm like, oh crap, let me get some of the drawings I'm doing for my FYP to make as merch.
Then did anyone find it interesting?
I think some people bought them. They want the covers of my art, I guess.
You think you want to say to the video?
Drink more water. My throat is very dry now. I usually forget to drink water.
Where's your water?
I don't know where is it.
You don't have signs anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. I always forget to prepare every year. Maybe next year we should advise people to bring their own like roof signs.
That was the problem last year then.
We forget everything in 365 days. Will you be boofing anytime soon?
Yes, I'll be flying to Indonesia to booth.
Are you so far?
Yeah, then after that, the next week would be Malaysia.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's back to back. So quite exciting for me because it's I'm soloing. Next month I'll be going to Australia.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going international.
Year of traveling.
Yes,
everybody.
correct.
That's damn cute. Like you just clip onto the spoon.
Yeah, this
Supervise and that will come.
it was fun talking to you.
Thank you. Very
Yeah.
fun seeing you again.
So right now I'm here at Raccoon Factory. Yeah, so how is business running?
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. We cook yourself.
Because here, this is, is considered premium. Premium shell, normally I have the mentality that it's going to be good.
This is what I thought also, and historically going by statistics, right?
Yeah.
Normally my stuff sells quite okay. Right? This time, for some reason, it's very slow and slower than usual. I went around to also ask my friends, like the single one, I won't say who also, it's also similarly slow per thing. So I realized it could be because of how the crowd flows. People on the way here, right, they just hear on the way go on it. Even not browsing before, yeah, they purchase what they wanted, right? Unintentional. Someone has to get the action goal.
Until you mention it, I didn't realize this is a direction towards exit.
And it's extremely warm. You see the normal skin booths, right? It's very congested.
Congested as in,
Place between the left and right booths, right? You notice over there is the wall is very small.
I always would think that they will prioritize the one with the premium.
My God. So I thought last year we were at the back, right? And then when we were so busy, we couldn't even sit down. We were just like serving non-stop. This year, right, we're just sitting down.
Wait, last year, you all were at which area?
And then so I went to ask my friends at the toilet this year. They said it's very good there.
Interesting. Because last year I was at exit. Yeah.
So now it's our turn to experience what you experienced.
This what happens when you vote for people. Actually, I think this place, right, if you look at it from a different perspective, it's not bad. So in the morning, right, we both also come here. And like, you know, it's like restaurant reservations, right? You pay 500 for a dining table. Actually, I'm his neighbor. Also, right, if you are watching for this long already and you haven't subscribed, right, what are you doing? Can you subscribe? You hit the like button. Can you hit the notification bell?
Thank you. Yeah, I think there's only left 2 hours for Doujima.
Yes.
So how has it been day one?
Day one, not gonna lie, it's a bit slower than last year.
Where were you at the which side?
So last year I was at the back end near the toilet there, but it was
Crowded. Everyone said the toilet was crowded. This year, last year, this year.
it's weird. I don't know. The previous year it was crowded and then like it's very hard to walk, but like this year,
I think all was very crowded one. You know,
yeah, it was like, but I felt like last year is
still better.
I don't know whether it's because of fatigue, because there's a lot of ponds now. I mean, there's a lot of very talented places. So maybe the like people spending per hour is spread quite thin now. So maybe.
Yes, right. Yeah.
I mean, I'm also spending also.
Okay, thank you so much. All the best for tomorrow. Okay. York is over here. If you watch my Ultra Excel video, it was quite a disappointment. So this is compared to Doujima.
The crowd definitely is a lot more. Doujima is able to garner a stronger crowd, and maybe because they are international artists as well, they bring their own crowd over. That could be one of the reasons. Or maybe because Doujima is well established.
Yeah, I think that's
Maybe,
the bigger reason.
like foreigners, they come over because they know this is Doujima.
Okay, then last year, were you at Doujima?
Yes.
So where were you at? Which area?
I was pretty back behind.
Compared to that to now where you are, which one is better?
I'm not sure, I need to check my sales. But I think definitely this time round, the first 3 hours is more immediate lah. If you're moving behind, maybe it will take a longer time for the crowd to like walk to your booth. But I think maybe this time round the crowd, they have bigger purchasing power. Or maybe because I have a bigger booth, then I can display all the random crap over.
Yeah, this is actually a big booth. This is the one for
I can put this stupid emoji over here. Partly because I never draw a lot of new stuff. The neighbor booth is damn KE
Okay, then.
She's beside empty booth.
I can go and take a look. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Today day one, okay?
OK 啦，开始的时候有吓到哦，刚开始的时候很多人，我们都还没有准备好，就
OK，里面就是好事啦。对，完现在
我的去年比较近一点，
去年是你在 A group，
我在就是很靠近 X 的，
如果要比较的话，今年去年哪一个是比较好？
今年比较好，但是因为我们又飞进窝
啊，
就 expect 可能
对哦，
就经过就走的，我们 extra 给了100。因为 upside table 嘛，又靠近 entrance， 对。
So upside actually 是比较贵啦，是吗？
加50，然后
加50而已啊。
50而已啊。
还算不错一点。
其实 upside table 就是靠近 entrance 的意思了。然后我们的桌子原本我们是 expect 4个 panel 的。
对哦。
然后来到才发现可以放5个 panel。我们就已经 planning 好了的嘛，然后来到发现这样子，就感觉到
OK，
所以
好了，OK，明天见咯，拜拜。 So here's Amy. She come and ambush us at our booth.
What's ambush?
So you're saying that yesterday was pretty good, even though you are nearer to the exit side.
Yeah, I'm all the way at the end.
You haven't
But
started playing yet.
yesterday, good lah.
But okay, then compare last year to this year.
I don't remember.
I think last year you remember more of the eating part, the dinner. Like, do you remember what we ate last year? I remember
We'll
though.
be moving for the rest of the year.
Shake Shack, correct? Yeah. Yeah, you remember that, but then so Doujima was very insignificant at last year.
Say that.
So KJ is here. So we have a booth here. This is facing the wall. Some of my friends saying that facing wall not very good personally, but this is not your first time. I remember the time you were facing wall. So
Yeah, that time I was facing the all the way the other end, so they were all the way to the opposite end.
technically it is nearer to the entrance compared to last year. So I believe in this case this year will be better.
Better than last year.
Better than last year.
Yeah, we also see more crowd. I will feel better than last year.
Okay.
But of course, day 2 is still a bit slower than day 1.
Sunday is like that
Yeah. I mean, I'm also at first worried about like facing the wall.
Yeah.
Again, right? But I think last year because it was nearer to the exit,
Yes.
so suffer a little more than like right now because nearer to the entrance.
Yeah. At least you still have this sign.
Yeah, last year didn't have this.
Yeah. Quite a lot of people get
a lot
lost.
of people
Right?
are asking like, which booth is this? Then they use it as a guiding point to go and find other booths.
Now that you mentioned, right, I didn't see you put the sign, your number, so
Yeah, when I came on Friday to set up, then I saw the sign. I'm like, okay, not too bad. It's a
Oh, you're just taking it for granted. I see this is something new. I don't remember seeing this.
Yeah, this
very
stage
cool,
also
eh?
new.
Ah.
Correct.
Where's your next event?
Next event is definitely Singapore Comic Con.
Oh.
But I'm also considering maybe like AFA, the Creators Superfest.
Creator Superfest this year they are changing to Suntec.
Yeah, but I'm not too sure because I've never been to the event, so I'm not too sure how's the crowd and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So you must sort of like you can, in a way, the crowd is guaranteed the football.
It was there for me the last 2 years, but that was at Expo.
Expo, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
correct. So I'm not sure the
So
change.
benchmark.
Yes, no benchmark. But okay, well, thank you so much. Maybe I'll see you at CSF.
Okay.
This May is here. So yours actually is near the toilet. A lot of my friends, they were saying that the toilet booths are very good. You have this impression.
When I first saw the map, I thought like, damn, I'm really at the back. This be kind of bad, but I think it's quite okay. The crowd flow.
Okay.
I haven't really checked out in front. The front one looks way more packed. I think like the A B area, especially the one near the entrance. But
Yes.
that's obvious.
Everyone was here. They tell me toilet's the best. Yeah, we had this area. Were you here last year, Doujima?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then compare to last year and this year, do you remember which one is better?
This is definitely better.
This is definitely
Last year was pretty barren.
Maybe it's the toilet. But where were you last year? Which area?
I can't remember, but I was more of in the middle.
In the middle, as in like the middle.
Yeah, around the middle. We didn't get a corner booth.
Oh yeah, this year you had a corner. Oh, do you think the corner actually helps?
Personally, I like the corner because my friend can display more stuff like at the side part.
So people do stop by like.
Yeah, it's the toilet area. So you walk past.
Yeah, correct. They walk past and then some people will even relax here.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's good to know. You're the first person I actually got to talk to that's near the toilet. Yeah, then everyone was like, I wish I was here, yeah.
Oh, there was like some add-ons where you can pay more for a corner booth, right?
You actually apply for the add-on for the corner.
I really wanted to ask for the corner booth, but they say it ran out.
Yeah.
But we happened to get a corner booth anyway.
And you didn't have to top up for that.
We did
Okay.
This is just like the base price. So it's really lucky. Really lucky.
Okay. I believe the Doujima staff may watch this.
They might take note that it's a good spot.
Yeah. Okay. Oops. Okay, I'm at Yura's booth right now.
Hi.
Yes, you can hold this, my spoon mic,
Touch the spoon.
because it is the way it is. Don't ask so much questions. Yeah. I guess this is block F, is it?
Toilet.
Near toilet.
I guess it's like in between. But,
Because my friends were saying that the toilet area is good if you're near the toilet. But yeah, technically not that near.
yeah, not that near, but close enough. I mean, when I go to the toilet, it's also pretty close for me.
But how has been the 2 days?
Okay, I think the first day was pretty good. But I guess maybe for the second day it's like a lot less. But I guess it's to be expected. Plus it's like Mother's Day debuff. I would compare it like this year and last year. I would say like last year was more crowded. For me, I guess in terms of sales, I would think that last year I did better.
Where were you last year at the area?
I was actually closer to the entrance. No, sorry, the exit.
So supposedly you are in a better location right now compared to last year. Is that true?
So I think it's about the same.
About the same.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
okay.
like most of them are window shoppers. But most of the people who came to look for me, they already probably had pre-ordered. Like,
So you have a lot of pre-orders.
yes, I had pre-orders.
Okay. Always open
Always
pre-order.
open pre-orders. because like a huge chunk of my sales actually came from pre-orders.
So anyone hearing this, try to open pre-orders.
Yes, like maybe like a week before. Yay.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Right now here I'm at Ghosty Buddy, so you're sharing a booth. Can you introduce yourself?
Hi, I am anchavies, and this is my first year boothing in general. First time boothing.
First time, so it's a very first time, your first event and everything.
This is my first time offline. Yes.
What makes you want to join? This is quite a large event. It's quite a big jump to being a first event.
I feel like overall it was a very good experience. As for my first booth experience, I just wanted to socialize and get my brand out there. I'm not really focusing much about the profit, so definitely I did not really. Yeah, but my main goal is to socialize more.
Did you manage to achieve that?
No, of course, yes.
Will you be keen to do your next event, or is it something that you want to take some time off to start to build up your brand?
I'm really thinking about my items, you know, based on this. Yeah.
Right.
Earliest, I think end of the year.
End of the year, alright. Because right now, Doujima, they have a smaller event for end of the year, December, called Do-Mini.
Oh.
So you may want to look into that, but this is a smaller event, not as big as Doujima. Because what I feel that when it comes to events like this, it's very highly competitive. You have 600 tables. Artists that are smaller, it's hard to stand out.
Yeah.
So usually I recommend is that for first timers, they will start off with something small.
Yeah.
So but then since you're here already, it's a good experience.
Yeah, it was a very good experience. I would do it again.
Which one is your favorite item so far that you have made?
I guess mainly just my keychains, because they are like original designs. So just this top half is like fan art, then the rest is just original. Minus these two it's Pokemon.
So it's a mix between original and some of the
I'm trying
fandom.
to face more into original.
Okay, it's good to try. I myself have this struggle also because I want to do more original, but then a lot of times my fan stuff would be the one carrying the weight.
Yeah.
Especially for events like they are more focused on the fandom. Which one sells better from your feeling right now? Is it original or fan for this event?
Definitely. For the past, I think, few hours, I've been giving away my stickers for free.
Do you make sure you give a name card together? Don't give them free.
I get them to play like a small game.
Okay.
And I let them choose like only the original stuff.
Okay, that's not a bad idea.
I want to clear out these old stocks, so it's fine.
Okay, I hope to see you at the next one. Okay, thank you so much.
Alright.
So, okay, Nana 在这边。
Hello.
Okay, so how's business?
Okay.
去年我记得你有在Doujima Then 是哪一个地方了？它的 area？
Last year I think it's somewhere close to the exit there. Not really very close. It's more to the close exit there.
So this year actually will be better, the location.
I'm at somewhere close to the toilet there.
Because earlier on, I asked a few people, they say toilet one of the better area. Do you think it's true? There is a crowd.
Yeah, there is crowd. I mean, for me, I feel that Doujima last year and this year are more or less similar. But the people purchasing power is still a bit weak compared to other events I attend. But what I can say is, for such a huge event, right, including like maybe 400-500 of booth, people are more prone to order whatever thing they want by pre-order catalog.
Did you do a pre-order?
Post my catalog, but I never do a pre-order form. I just too busy. I saw a lot of stores with pre-order one. Some of them they have queue just after the door open for the event. Yeah, there's more like selling like 老公老婆 sorry. Like the wife husband door type. Yeah, original is a bit difficult.
So you got the new magazine there also.
That's not a magazine. That is a comic. So it's actually quite catchy. Like people pass by, people like, oh, what the fuck is this book? And then people will try to flip, then they see, it's in Chinese. Okay, so maybe not. Don't worry, I will have a translated version very soon.
Okay, good.
Yeah, don't worry.
Thank you. Okay, so last year I remember you were somewhere around.
Yeah.
Is it correct? Now you're actually nearer to the entrance, so I think it should be much better for you, or you don't feel there's any difference?
I think it's not as good this year because there is way less people inside the convention.
Day one was quite packed.
It's quite packed, but it's still less people than last year. But the experience is still there lah. That means like there's still people coming in, but also people are more tight with whatever they are buying. Because when we were facing the wall previously, we actually got a lot of people. It's like a lot. It's to the point we couldn't even rest. But while we are here, right, the fact that I can still talk to you right now means that there's not that much people. So the dungeon finder is kind of like our baby. So this time it's all about a desert adventure. You want to join your friend in the most fearsome guild in Wellington. However, in order to join him, you have to go through a guild trial. This guild trial is this entire cake. By throwing the die, it will determine what happens to you. So if you get net 1 or net 20, you'll get an entire big prize. So for today, because a lot of the big prizes are gone, there's only tiny dragon now. But there's a second chance to win because after you roll the dice and then you get the scenario, right? If your scenario is the hoarder, you can pick any of these items. Sorry, I talk a bit long.
Oh, no. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So hi, my name is TJ and I like to draw mecha stuff, tech stuff and things that are based off like movies and stuff like that as well. For Doujima, I think that it's quite interesting because like you're seeing like many different types of like fandoms, people and stuff like that. But what keeps me going in Doujima is really because like all the old fans that come over, it's really heartwarming to me. Like it means a lot. If I don't have sleep, that makes me...
If you want to be here for them.
Yes, correct. You have to be here for them no matter what. Believe it or not, it's actually my first time in Doujima.
Okay.
Yeah, it is actually the first time. I think it's a positive experience for me. It's very competitive.
Yeah.
Not only that, the space is also limited, which is a good thing because if you're creative, you gotta walk around the block. Doujima has fandoms and stuff like that, right? Especially for my kind of stuff, it's very niche. So how are you gonna sell niche fandom things? This is where the personality card has to come out. I made new friends and stuff like that. International friends as well. I think the best thing about Doujima is that it's an international playing field.
Yes.
And that means I get to make international friends and it's like, that's like the best way to do it. I want to come back for Doujima next year and stuff like that. I met a few people, some from Japan, some from New Zealand. If you take down the borders and everything like that, right? Deep down, we're just like nerds geeking out together, and it's like I find that so heartwarming. Doujima is like the place where it just brings humanity together. That kind of vibe, I guess. Kudos to the team involved. They really did their best to make sure there's like no weird stuff. Because the common complaint for like conventions that there are weird personalities and stuff like that. Like Doujima stuff, I want to praise them. They really did a lot of like prep work. They did a lot of like walking the ground. I think that's really appreciated lah. I feel safe coming to Doujima. Customers feel safe. Everyone has a positive experience. However, one thing I guess is that the spacing is a very interesting problem to fix.
Yes.
Simply because if you were to give more spaces for the booths, then what happens to the crowd control and stuff like that? There's a lot of things to weigh. There's a lot of factors to be involved. I mean, everyone who's done conventions will also know that the space constraints at the back, it's a bit squeezy, but overall I think this is okay. This is actually okay. It's still okay. Not the best, but I think it's still okay. I can't really complain about that, but it's a thing that maybe if I want to nitpick, that's something I'll nitpick. The only thing that I want, give us more conventions, let's go, that kind of thing.
Okay, but do you know that Doujima has a new event called Do-Mini?
Do-Mini. Okay, I'll check it out.
Yeah, thank you so much.
No, thank you.
We are already almost at 3 p.m.
Oh, it's 3?
How do you feel about the second day?
Second day is peaceful. Much less than Saturday. A lot more space to walk and I guess not much of a queue outside I hear.
But how do you feel about the experience overall?
Doujima is always nice. Doujima to me it's a moderate event. Nice peace. Not peaceful. It's more like it's nice because you get to see a variety of like local and international artists, a lot of variety of art, very high quality art, very nice people. People will drop by the booth, say hi, give snacks. Yeah, I actually did try and go over to the XP pen booth.
Oh, okay.
But the tablets that were all occupied, I wanted to like try the tablets, but cannot.
Okay. I myself use XP pen now, so I can really endorse that. Yeah, they should sponsor me. No, yeah. I'm just saying. But anyway, yeah, XP pen is good. I love the brand. So it's quite interesting when you talk about like those big corporate stores. Like this year they had XP pen. They also had very interesting one like cricket.
Cricket
one, yeah.
I thought you were talking about the sport.
No, they pronounce it that way. Well, not cry card.
I call it cry card.
Cry card.
Well, okay,
you go to the booth there. You try them. I want it on cry card. Let's see what they.
Cry card.
Yeah. But yeah, so they had these interesting ones and also the Sea Breeze book.
Sea Breeze, yeah.
Right to the corporate one is that they have very interesting booth this year around. The lineup, I walk around, I feel that it's very exciting to see a lot of different foreign booths as well.
Yeah, actually, I see a lot of very attractive merch. A lot of acrylic merch, a lot of very high quality foil prints.
I would like to say the spoil market. Like, yeah, they really make the very competitive.
In a good way. But I think now printing is a lot more accessible for everybody. So it's more competitive between vendors right now. So things are getting a bit cheaper as well. So everybody is able to print a lot more variety of goods.
They have very exotic range of merch.
I think so. Yeah.
So any closing thoughts about Doujima? Do you think you did well, even though it's not the end of the day yet?
I think I did well.
You did well.
I think I did well. And I would say I'm very lucky in terms of both positioning.
That's
And very, very happy. A lot of friends came to say hi.
Yeah. So overall, it's a plus for this year's Doujima experience. So.
For me, plus. I'm happy. I'm always happy.
Okay, thank you. I had a good time also. Thanks for letting me help out your booth.
No, thanks for coming to help out. And you helped out for 2 full days. I'm very, wow.
No problem. No.
Very thankful. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. This is tinybirdfarts signing off.
Yeah, signing off.
Hello everyone, this is Merlion. You can also call me Clement, and what you saw earlier was my experience at Doujin Market 2025 as an artist alley table assistant or helper. So as you already saw in the video, I was helping out tinybirdfarts. My experience this time round was very different, more of a customer point of view rather than a vendor, rather than a seller. So this time round you won't have me reporting on my sales breakdown because I have no sales breakdown, unfortunately. Instead, this part of the vlog will be me talking about the differences, the changes, or rather the improvement that Doujin Market, or Doujima for short, has made from 2024 to this year 2025. If you have watched my previous video, I think that video itself gained quite a number of traction, right? Most of it I talk about in 2024 for Doujima was more of the negative side because I didn't really have a good experience back then, to be honest. This year, however, I am very glad to say that I had a much more positive experience. Maybe because I was not actually tabling, but purely based on what I saw, what I experienced on site for the 2 days at Doujima 2025, I overall had a good time there. Now, if you have never been to Doujin Market, Doujima, then the summary is that Doujin Market is the Singapore's largest showcase of pop culture inspired art, illustration, and independent creators. So this year it happens on the 10 to 11 May 2025, and at the Suntec Convention Hall 403, 404, and 405. So there's 3 halls. There was about 500 over tables. I do not know the exact numbers, but it's a lot, right? And it's spread across the 3 halls. General admission was priced at $10 per person for a single day pass, and for 2 days it was $18 on site. There was also the VIP fast pass, which was available at $50, and it came with a surprise goodie bag. With last year Doujima 2024, this year there were significant improvement. Basically, by looking at the map layout, which I'll put it somewhere around here, it looked more coherent and structured than what the 2024 map was trying to accomplish. So it has this clearer flow of how the alphabet zones, or blocks as they now are called, they are more systematically arranged, with the entrance leading to block A first. One of the biggest gripe I had last year was that block A was placed at the exit. I mean, I could be quite butthurt that because I was in block A, I was expecting it to be the entrance. Makes sense, right? You go A should be the first. But instead, block A or zone A back then was at the exit, right at the end. So this year around, however, I'm glad to say the A is finally at its proper place, which is the entrance. As you already know from the video, I was at the block A, tinybirdfarts was at block A, A22. Most people would go in block A direction. Of course, as a visitor, you are not restricted to going through block A first. You can go the other direction if you want to, but the nature of how most people would go about navigating is usually through that way, that passage, and which was in this case block A. So it's beneficial in the sense that if you are in that block, you will get the organic sales first. Right? I mean, people will go through that first. Kind of like if they are mostly for window shoppings, But of course, from the video, you'll notice that a lot of the artists I spoke to, they were saying that the toilet zone, the one at the back, nearest to the toilet or nearby the toilet, was arguably the best in terms of traffic. I do not know. But according to them, right, it seems to be the hot spot in that case, not block A, the toilet part, the toilet zone, whatever that block is, arguably is the best. Who knows? I do not know. I do not have the statistic to prove that, but food for thought, right? So the map, at least now, is much easier to navigate. And the next thing is that now they have the signs. You have this stands indicates what block you are in at that point of time. Now, if I were to have something to nitpick about, is that the signs, I would rather have them right at where the block is, or in the front of the block, not really close to the wall, the pillars. But I understand why the organizer chose to do that. Was because they were afraid that the stands would get trampled over, will topple, and then it will cause injury, right? Accidents can happen. There is this air of caution when it comes to that. However, the Ace has done it. Doki Doki has done it also. They put the stand right in front of the zone or the blocks. Not saying that just because they do it means accident won't happen. They can happen, but yeah, I would prefer that, but anything is better than nothing. So I'm glad at least they have the stands. That's something. That's still something, because last year they did not have anything at all to indicate where the blocks are. So this time round, they having the stands there, even though they are not at what I would say the optimal place, they are still better than nothing. So, good job on that. There's also this year, they tried to do something different where they added this thing called the booth add-on schemes. So they introduced this thing where creators, upon application, upon applying for tables, they can also pay more to add on for additional options like nearer to the entrance, corner booth, or upgrading your basic table from, I think, the 1.2 meter upgrade to 1.8 meter, larger, right? And in this case, it was what Tiny Birds have, the longer table nearer to the entrance, etc. Not the corner, she didn't get the corner, right? But still very good. And all those things you can pay, it's kind of like pay to win. And it was, at first impression, right? Even though I didn't apply, when I saw that, I thought, I didn't like the idea, because it feels like trying to exploit by getting people to pay more for the optimal things, because normally it's usually random based. But I guess in this case, it's really like the willing buyer, willing seller kind of scenario where you can choose not to pay. You don't need to buy all this add-on. It's completely optional, right? But if you do so, then you will have the advantage. And it feels, in a way, rather than being totally random, it gives people a chance that if they're willing to pay, then they will get better spots, extra incentive, right? So in a sense, yes, I think it's good. Most people agreed as well, because the add-ons that when they released it was very quickly oversubscribed. So many people wanted the add-ons when they apply, to the point that because all those, you can only have that limited numbers of tables near the entrance, how many tables you can have that are corner. So there are a very limited pool of availability for those tables. It was very well over demand. Even if you wanted to pay for those, most people couldn't get it. So at the end, it still became a kind of like a chance thing, and Tiny was able to get it. So she's lucky, she's fortunate, she knows about it, she's thankful about it. Yeah. So at the end, it still become kind of like RNG. And okay. I guess moving forward, if Doujima wanted to continue using this add-on, then maybe they might want to consider increasing the price. But I think this is really, I was saying that I didn't really like the idea of them even implementing a price for the add-on. And now I'm like saying, now they should increase the price for those. Thankfully, I'm not in the organizer shoes, so I don't need to worry about that. But yeah, this is something that we need to look into. Overall, it's a pretty reasonably good idea. Next noticeable aspect that Doujima 2025 has was the much tighter rules and regulation. So very obvious, right? The first thing was that they did not allow videography in general, which is the bummer because I can't do my filming. Maybe if I ask Doujima, they might give me the permission to do so, but I did not. Right? I did not reach out to them. So instead, I chose not to do video altogether to follow the rules. It's another thing if I did not know about the rule and broke the rule without knowing, without ill intention, right? But because I know it, with all my conscience, I did not want to break the rules that they set. I guess it's most likely to do that they probably receive a lot of complaints, maybe most likely from the vendors, most likely from the artists at the event, that there were a lot of unruly people who were filming without permission, the lack of courtesy. So it's more of protecting the artists, and I think that's a good approach. But of course, if every convention, every event stop allowing filming in general, then I feel that it's a bit too much. But it's okay. So far, Doujima is the only one that I know that it doesn't allow videography at their convention, at their artist rallies, and I respect that. The next thing also is that there was this incident, I think it was on day 2, where they broke down one of the premium booth that was proxy selling. Proxy selling, from what I understand, is the booth selling items where the original artist isn't present. In any case, they did not seek prior approval from Doujima management. In the long run, it's a good move to make the event safe, a safe space for the rest of us. And it applies to all events. Try to do your best to abide to the rules that the event has set. It's a kind of like common sense thing. So of course, certain rules can be a bit more absurd. Take for instance the last year EOI, the very strict pass going in and out. I think that's a bit too overboard, right? The ones that I see in Doujima, I think is still quite sensible. So okay, fair enough. Overall, it did not really affect me or to the people around me. I did had a very good time there, pleasant time there at Doujima 2025. I completely agree with what Tiny has to say in her closing words or impression about this year Doujima. Like with big events, it's a great place to meet many friends where we can all like meet up, like reunion, class reunion kind of thing, compared to the other smaller events. This Doujima, great place to see a lot of artists that I wouldn't normally see in Singapore. I actually really enjoy being a visitor at Doujima. So I don't think next year for 2026, I will go back to Doujima as the artist. I quite like the idea of not boothing at bigger events, including Doujima. So I think, yeah, that pretty much, that's really it. I conclude my Doujima 2025 experience. I'm pretty much just freestyling this whole vlog, right? So the next event for me will be a milestone, a very big milestone. It will be my first overseas convention solo, and it will be at Comic Frontier, Komifuro XX or 20, and that will be in Jakarta, Indonesia. In fact, this is this coming weekend. Very likely, by the time this video is uploaded, I would have already returned from my trip. Right, so expect the Komifuro vlog to be uploaded after maybe another week or so, because right after Komifuro, the next weekend, I will be at Kuala Lumpur for the Comic Arts Festival, CAF. So it's really back-to-back. Very busy time of the month for me. And I hope you enjoy the whole vlog. I kind of make it like a visual novel style. Recently, I've been playing a lot of the 100 Lines Last Defense Academy. So I took some inspiration from that. And yeah, Tsubasa is best girl if you play the game, but I really like a certain tomato head. I think that's about it. Let's wrap it up. Yeah, take care everyone as usual, and I will see you in the next vlog when I can upload. Bye bye.